Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
welcome back, everyone.
yes, here we are again.
How is everybody today?
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho,
Good.
ho.
Betty's at Nets camp at Ursuline, so I've got this whole week. I've got like a little time to myself.
Ooh, that's lovely.
What is a net?
It's like it's badminton, tennis, pickleball, ping pong. It's like all the sports.
Oh,
with
how
nets.
fun!
That is
Yeah.
really cute. That is
And
really cool.
Is it all day?
It's from 1 to 4, which means I take her at 1, and then Maureen picks her up on the way home from work. So I basically tap out at 1 o'clock
Oh, that's good.
all week, which is going to be fun. I guess I'm going to be playing some golf on Thursday and Friday.
Good.
Woot, woot.
Oh yeah.
Where are you playing?
Dallas Athletic Club over there in Mesquite.
Fun.
Wait, where?
Dallas
Is that-
Athletic Club, DAC.
I've played that golf course.
Oh, do you like
there's-
it?
Yeah, I love
yeah,
it. We've,
it's
Is that
really good. It's been there a long time.
Is it private?
it's private.
Yep.
It's been there. The Dallas Athletic Club opened in downtown in 1919. It was a bathhouse and athletic club for men. And then in 1953, they opened right inside the 635 at La Prada. You know that street, La Prada and 635? So yeah, and they've got 2 Jack Nicklaus designed golf courses.
It's kind of Mesquite, right?
Oh, wow.
It is technically in Mesquite, but it's inside the loop, so
Yeah,
it's I would call
inside
it
the loop.
Dallas.
Yeah.
But there has been a major played there. The 1963 PGA Championship was played there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cool. It's a very sweet club, and because of the distance, it's a little on the affordable side, if you will.
Well, good.
You need that in these days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
no
do.
kidding.
I was visiting with a girl this morning, and she's a young girl, and she belongs to DCC, and I'm like, you're like a baby. How do you afford to? I mean, it is so expensive.
You know, when Tom
doubt.
and
To
I, when Kurt,
DCC?
when Kurt and I moved to Dallas, we joined Dallas Country Club, and at that time, Kurt put Bryn, Wesley, and Blair on the wait list.
Brilliant.
It was so smart of him, and so Wesley hadn't
Right.
joined because she's in Australia, but Brendan and Blair
Blair.
have because they were on the wait list.
That was very.
Wasn't that smart?
Smart.
I know, it was really smart.
I mean, there's people who wait 10 years
Oh, longer than that.
and then pay over $250,000 to.
It is not.
I mean,
cheap.
that is.
Now,
Not
if
for the faint
if
of
you
heart.
join Athens Country Club down by the lake,
Or Pinnacle in Gun Barrel City.
and Athens, I think that we paid $200
That's amazing.
for membership, and then I think we pay like $95 a month.
That's all day, every day.
It's great.
I've never played at Athens, but Craig belongs to Pinnacle in Maybank, Gun Barrel City.
I've
Played there
that
many
one.
times.
I love Pinnacle.
Yeah, Athens is not bad either.
Really?
I mean,
I'd like to play that.
Yeah,
Wow,
It's really-
and it's private and public, like Pinnacle, or is it?
No, it's private.
Oh, it's private.
And I mean, and it's got good food and a nice swimming pool and tennis courts and all of it.
So fun.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, and we just joined right up. Nobody needed to vote us in.
There's no board
We
sizing
just
you
had
up,
one person put
asking
us
you
up
how much you weigh.
and how much you have in the bank.
Yeah. Let me see a picture of her. Let me make sure she's pretty enough. Okay, well, today we're going to continue our conversation about kids and cell phones. Last week, Tom, I found your knowledge. So I found it incredibly insightful because things have changed a lot since 10, 15 years ago that my kids first got phones. But are you more hardcore about this than your wife, or is she more hardcore about this? Who's the big regulator of the cell phone?
It's definitely me, just because I'm more tech savvy than Maureen is. I like to tease her that she asks me 2.5 technology questions a week.
2.5.
Yes. And so I'm sort of in charge. I'm the tech guy. I mean, I'm a recording engineer. I know gadgets are my thing. So, but we're both definitely a unified front on the caution and awareness.
The approach.
Yes.
It's just you're more the monitor.
Good.
For sure.
Yeah, that's really good.
Right. So these two articles we're going to be going over today. One, we're going to start with the ones that say it's 6 reasons not to give your kid a cell phone. So we'll hear what the experts say why not to, and then we'll hear what the experts say why to.
I love it.
So number one, I'll start with this one.
Okay.
It's bad for mental health. This is right up the remedies alley, mental health. So they're
Way
saying,
to sell it, Tom.
Let's start with the most significant and scary side effect of cell phone use. A review of multiple studies found that smartphones and social media use is linked to an increase in mental distress, self-injurious behavior, and suicidality. Is that how you say that? Suicidality among youth. According to the 2023 report published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal. Meanwhile, the not-for-profit Sapien Labs reported that in 2023, its global study of nearly 28,000 young adults found those who received a smartphone or tablet later had better well-being. Those who received their phone at a younger age were more likely to experience suicidal thoughts, feelings of aggression towards others, and a sense of being detached from reality. In both cases, the effect of phones seemed more pronounced on girls than boys. Very interesting.
That's not surprising to me.
There are many other studies out there that have come to various conclusions, but the overarching theme seems to be that there are more downsides to teen cell phone use than upsides.
That is, without research, I would say that.
Well, yeah. I mean, they can. It's hard enough being an adolescent. Yes, and then,
totally.
if you've got a phone right there and you're looking up skinny bodies or how to be skinny or how to kill myself, you can put that in the Google.
That's terrible.
And it's right there with you.
Yeah.
And it is.
You can figure out anything.
Yeah.
You can find anything.
Anything. And so that's scary.
It's like it's too much for them.
Yeah.
They're not, their brains are still so far from being developed. And it's like all of a sudden you have access to content, pictures, things, which is, I guess, number 2. It can open a Pandora's box of age inappropriate content.
Yeah. The algorithms, the thing that it knows, it's every click that you click. Like if you click on a story, let's say it is a guy who breaks his ankle on a skateboard, and somebody sent you this. You're like, you got to see this, and you click on this. Then it thinks, oh, this person likes to see injuries, and so then all of a sudden, the next time you come to that app, it's going to feed you 3 or 4 more of those types of videos. And that's the thing is my daughter doesn't need to see somebody's leg breaking because then they might hear a cuss word and see something gross. And it's just a bunch of stuff I don't want her to see that she doesn't even realize she is willing into her orbit just by clicking on something one time.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the exact descriptive or exactly what you're looking for. If
it's an ish.
It's something that is similar.
Oh, this morning I saw the cutest bathing suit on Instagram. Clicked on it. Now all I'm doing is getting bathing suits from Instagram. I'm like, okay, I didn't really. Yeah, that's not where I was going with that. I just liked the one bathing suit.
No, it's true.
It's a pain in the ass, but kids don't understand.
No, they don't.
The Big Brother algorithms, all the things that it can open Pandora's box. It's perfectly said.
For sure.
I think number 3 is so true. I think it makes it hard to provide guidance because, I mean, my parents knew almost everything. I mean, there was a lot they didn't know, I guess, but it's like the phones are a whole other world. That, I mean, what's on Carter, George, and Anna Prince's phone? I have no idea.
Well, and it puts you in a different world.
Yes.
If that's what you're wanting to do. I mean, there are no boundaries really. You know, you can keep going and delve and look and find, and then you take this way and that way and that way and that way, and Lord knows where you end up. And yeah,
I'm sure you've seen this too, Janice, but I mean, we've talked about this on The Remedy, but like when we were growing up, I never used the word anxious. I never used the word FOMO. That didn't even exist, you know, but like these kids, and I think it is device inducing that gives them FOMO. If there was a party or there was something going on that I wasn't invited to, I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, you sure didn't see any pictures of it.
No.
I know if you knew, it would have been just because somebody said there was a party. And you were like, oh.
But I've had gatherings where people have said, please do not post, because there are some people who are not here that probably think they should be here, and we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yep.
And I mean, that is like, that's the world that, again, like we talked about last week, this is the world these kids, that's the only world they know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is all still relatively new to us.
And it's new to us because we are affected by it as well.
For sure.
You know?
But I think that one where it says it makes it hard to provide guidance. It's how do I provide guidance to George about something on his phone that I don't know that he's watching, seeing?
Well, you don't.
I don't. I just think it's a huge risk.
I mean, we're seeing this right now with I feel like a lot of the protesting at the college campuses, Columbia, namely, where the children, and I'm calling them that because they're 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, they are children.
They're seeing, they think they know everything about that 100-year-long or more struggle just because they've seen stuff on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. They're getting like a headline or two or three, and they're basically getting like the Cliff's Notes version of news and history, and it's so much more nuanced. And I feel like kids today are just kind of getting like the Cliff's Notes version of stuff. And so they're not exactly educated on a lot of these things. And therefore they're protesting something, and it's kind of a disaster.
Yep. I could not agree more. But I also think a lot of that is like kids just want to belong to something, you know, and even if it's something that's really not something they're passionate about, it's just, they just glom on.
Well, and I think the thing that is so important is that parents really talk to their kids about what they are putting on their phones.
Heck
like
yeah.
if they're filming, having sex with somebody or somebody, then it's out there. And then that's going to follow you to college. That's going to be, when you're going through Rush, it comes up on the Tried Out. Those things do matter.
Yep.
They do affect us, and they follow us.
Yep.
And that's creepy, but it's real.
We all know kids. I know kids.
Me
I know
too.
you know kids. Tom, I know you know, maybe not kids, but you will. And you might know of them at this point because of the CKS deal you talked about last week. But I know children whose lives have been affected because of nudes and or videos that they've taken, sent, shared.
Yeah.
That is a no-go.
Yeah.
And it's child pornography. If you're under 18 and you're sending pictures, that's child pornography. You can get investigated by the police. You can get charged. CPS can come to your house.
And
It's
if
serious.
somebody posts it
Oh,
and it's not the person that is in the photo, then it's a whole different thing.
You're toast.
Yeah. It's, yeah. Ugh.
All right, so number 4, it
You're
can
like, let's move on.
Say again?
I said, are you getting freaked out because you have a little girl? You're like, moving on.
Moving on. No, I was just trying to keep
Moving
it.
on
I don't wanna
to
think
moving to.
I don't want to
keeping it
think about Betty and the nudes.
Number 4, it can squash creativity.
Could not agree with this one more.
People talk a lot about smartphones and technology being tools that can enhance our lives, but the reality, they are a giant time suck. Maybe you have mastered the art of using your phone, setting it down, and walking away. But personally, I spend far more time scrolling than I care to admit. It's the same with kids. Children 10 to 12 years old watch nearly 5 hours of screen media daily, with that number soaring to almost 7.5 hours for teens.
Oh.
And that does not include screen usage at school for homework. Don't make the mistake of thinking kids are using their screens creatively. Common sense reports that only 2% of screen use by tweens and 3% by teens includes creating content. The rest of the time is spent passively consuming it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And all that staring at screens leaves little time for kids to explore and create on their own.
That gives me like sadness. This is depressing.
Yeah, but I can sit and watch hours of Survivor.
Duh.
Yeah, I've watched every episode, and if you Google Survivor, how many episodes, you will be appalled.
We won't judge you. We won't judge you, Janice.
Oh, it's so good, and I'm all caught up. There's none left.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That is shocking that you have mastered Survivor.
I know.
I don't know that there's ever been more episodes of anything. Maybe American Idol or something.
I don't think so. I think Survivor's long before American Idol.
Wow. I don't know.
The longest running sitcom is The Simpsons.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Wow.
But Survivor might be number 2.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be
so
top 5
fun.
for sure.
The longest running television show, I should say, is The Simpsons.
I did not know
actually,
that.
that's false. It's 60 Minutes, but then The Simpsons.
Oh, 60
And
minutes.
yes.
I like 60 Minutes.
I like 60 minutes.
All right,
But I
number
like
5.
Survivor
One of you
better.
like to take that?
Where are we, number 5?
Yes.
It disrupts sleep. If kids are given a cell phone, they shouldn't keep it in their bedroom. One study published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics, a journal of American Medical Association, found the mere presence of a mobile device in the sleeping environment at bedtime, and certainly its use, increases the risk of inadequate sleep quantity, poor sleep quality, and most important, excessive daytime sleepiness the next day in children 6 to 19 years old. Mm-hmm. Heavy smartphone use is also associated with chronic sleep deprivation and negative effects on academic performance and socio-emotional functioning, according to the Canadian Medical Association Journal study.
It also goes with 6 that says it's linked to developmental delays, which does not surprise me.
No, me neither.
I mean, I've found that affect my sleep. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I will like stay up an extra 2 hours just to like get to that last episode of something.
Yeah.
Or
Thank God I can't do that. I just get too tired. I fall asleep.
yeah, most of the time that is what happens. I just fall asleep watching
Yep.
something. But there's been lots of times where I'll be like, okay, it's 12:45. I can finish these 2 episodes, finish this season, and the next thing you know, I'm like,
It's 3 o'clock in the
it's
morning.
3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I'll start the first episode of the next season.
No way.
I mean, I'll just get sucked in.
I know.
God,
It happens.
Craig's like that. I bet that happens more with guys than girls.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You and your Survivor
Yeah, that's right.
kind of
Well, the cool thing
defunct
about-
that theory.
I mean, this particular thing can be remedied by setting time limits on certain apps, which we talked about in the previous episode. But I mean, you know, if they're basically saying just having the device, even if it's powered down or not powered down, but asleep on the bedside table next to your child, I mean, that's crazy if that's what they're saying, but I don't think that's what they
I don't
mean.
think that's what they're saying
Because
either.
I just think, yeah, if there's time limits on the phone, then that shouldn't be an issue for your children.
Yeah.
I think it's just as much of an issue for adults, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that we're focusing more on kids, but I mean, I think that studies have shown, I've read, that it really affects the quality of sleep, screen time before bed. Like,
Well, because your brain's working. Your
Yes.
brain is going crazy.
Yes.
It's a blah, 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 you know, and that's those neurotransmitters are fired up, and they don't just go right immediately down. You know, so they're firing, and you're putting it all together, and you're watching a one more episode. Then you know it's hard for your brain to get calm again.
yeah.
Why don't you take number 6?
It's linked to developmental delays. It says most people aren't buying their toddler a cell phone, but they may be handing theirs over to keep the little ones occupied at the store, restaurant, and elsewhere. I have to say that really bums me out when I see a bunch of kids sitting around a table on their phones.
Oh, I don't know.
We've never done that.
It doesn't really bother me because my grandkids will do it. When they were little, they would bring their iPads so that
Their
they
devices.
would.
I didn't have that option when my kids were little, but I just loved having dinner with my kids.
Well,
when they
yeah,
were,
and you
know?
want to talk.
Yeah, I want to talk. I wanted to talk to my
Yeah.
kids
Yeah.
at dinner.
Yeah.
So for me, that's not for me. Is cell phones at the table, but I guess what the point of this is a recent study out of Japan that's published in a journal found that the following areas could be associated with developmental delays: communication, fine motor skills, problem solving, and personal and social skills. And teens and adults aren't immune to it either. A study out of the University of Texas in Austin found that simply having your smartphone nearby reduces cognitive capacity and functioning. For sure.
Yeah.
One time I heard or read, and I couldn't believe it, but looking at your phone while driving is more dangerous than drinking and driving.
I've heard that too.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. Think about, think about how many horrible accidents there have been because of cell phone.
I know.
Looking at your phone while you're driving.
Yeah.
I've been hit by somebody who was looking at their cell phone.
Yeah.
He slammed right into me.
A lot of the more modern cars they have the driver assist where, like, if you're about to rear end somebody,
They'll brake for
it'll
you.
brake for you. And I'm not going to lie, that has saved me at least 5 times.
Seriously.
Oh, really?
I don't hold my phone, but I have a little carrier,
So you were looking at it,
So I was
though.
looking at it, and
Yeah.
usually, I will tell you, it's usually for like maps or music.
Yeah.
I'm not like reading
Yeah.
or scrolling or texting. It's because I'm either changing the song on iMusic or I'm looking at a map. And I have like gotten distracted with those two things, and the car has literally stopped and kept me from having an accident.
Wow.
Wow.
At least 5 times.
Wow.
All right, well, let's change the tune and let's go to the article that talks about why kids should have phones. There's, I guess, a case for it.
Okay. I'm trying to find that article.
I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. It says, number 1, and this is what any kid would say.
Yeah, for sure.
Communication and safety concerns.
Yeah.
Dad, I just want to be safe and I want to be able to
Totally.
talk to you whenever I want to.
In today's
Bullshit.
digital age, cell phones have become a convenient tool for enhancing the parent-child connection, providing a safe and reliable communication channel that ensures peace of mind for both parents and kids. Whether your child is navigating the hallways of their school, on a field trip adventure, or simply enjoying playtime away from home, the reassurance that they can communicate with you at a moment's notice is reassuring to everyone. Knowing that you have some control over your child's safety with parental control features of the cell phone, like location tracking, lets you rest a little easier when your child isn't able to be with you.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I do too. That's the whole reason, or one of the main reasons we wanted Betty to have an Apple Watch is because, I mean, from like being at a friend's or being at school, if she was not having fun or she needed to tell me something at this camp that she's at today, she can now text me that, which is cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
And even if I'm feeling lazy and I want her to bring me a beer out to the studio, I can text her from inside the house.
She's a little waitress.
Totally.
Bring daddy,
Or we
be
can
a good
text her
little
to
girl
get
and
ready
bring
for
daddy
bed.
a beer.
We'll be up in 8 minutes to kiss you goodnight. You better be in your PJs when I come up there.
Love it. Love it.
That's hilarious.
I used to like, are you seriously texting me? For when my kids would text me from their bedrooms and I'm in the
Can
kitchen.
you bring me water?
I'm like, are you? And now I do it. I'm like, breakfast is ready. Like,
exactly.
That's hilarious.
That's really funny.
okay, number 2, educational opportunities, which is hilarious because in the last one, they said that only 2 to 3% of kids use them. Well, I guess, was it educational or creative?
Creative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So educational opportunities, for sure. Cell phones have revolutionized the educational landscape, providing access to a plethora of learning tools that extend beyond the traditional classroom, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt that that gives you access to more educational opportunities.
sure.
I mean, that's something I love about my phone, because if I don't know something, I love asking Siri, and then I can just know it right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an app called Khan Academy that is really awesome.
What is it?
It's KAHN, Khan Academy, and it's basically like if you want to know anything from like how does a bank work, or what are the uses of penicillin, or you can like go to the Khan Academy, and it's like it's basically like an encyclopedia on your phone for how things work, and there's usually like videos and instructional, like it's got a lot of it's the kind of thing that a kid can learn. It dumbs it down to like a kid's explanation.
Oh,
of certain
That's
things.
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yes.
See,
And-
that kind of stuff I love. Or if
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just a naturally curious person, so I'll be like, I wonder, da, 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 da. And then I'm just, oh yeah, I could ask Siri.
I do.
Yeah.
I've done a ton of Spanish with Paul.
Oh,
On my,
yeah.
I've done. I mean, there is no telling how many hours I've put on that.
More than Survivor.
No, probably not more than Survivor, but a lot. I've used it a lot.
That's hilarious. I'm just giving you a hard time.
It's all right.
Okay, you
I
want to
am
take?
proud of my Survivor experience.
You should. You should be.
Okay, number 3.
Yep.
Social connectivity. As children mature, their social networks begin to expand beyond just schoolmates, but also friends from various extracurricular activities and social settings. In this context, cell phones can help maintain these connections, allowing children to stay in touch with their pals through calls, text, and various other apps designed for social interaction. Beyond the individual connections, cell phones also encourage group interactions, enabling children to be part of group chats and social media communities. These digital spaces allow kids to exchange ideas, coordinate activities, and share experiences. As children navigate the complex social landscape of adolescence, where feeling included and supported by peers can significantly impact their social development and self-esteem, this can help them build healthy relationships, habits with friends. So, yeah, but it can also do the opposite. TikTok, the game's all locked and you're not there.
Yeah.
And here's proof.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. I mean, I thought, yeah, this all works great if you're included.
Yeah.
This all works great for the popular kids. This all works great for everybody who was invited. But the shadow side of this is, what about those kids who,
Yeah.
who don't.
I mean, that's the thing. Everybody knows everything
Everybody
because
knows
it's on.
everything.
It's right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
We're all here and you're not invited. I think it can really isolate kids and make them real depressed.
Yeah. Whereas, before cell phones, if you were invited to a party, you got an invitation in the mail and you went, but there was no way to take videos and photographs and post them to all the people on Snapchat or whatever that,
And everything looks way more fun online than it actually is.
Even if
usually.
it wasn't really that fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're always going to make it seem amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to take 4, Tom?
Yes. Developing responsibility and independence. Owning a phone is a significant step towards developing responsibility and independence in young people. It's not just about the freedom to call or text anyone at any time. It's about learning to manage screen time effectively, understanding the importance of online safety, and respecting privacy concerns. Children learn to spend their time wisely, balancing their digital interactions with offline activities and responsibilities. I have to stop right here and say this sounds like a bunch of BS.
I could not agree more. I am just getting so frustrated reading this. I'm like, this
sounds
is
like
not
a kid
happening.
wrote this article.
Totally.
Yeah, one that is in charge of everybody
I
having
will
cell
govern
phones.
myself, Dad. I will be so responsible.
This is
I
going to
will
make
learn.
me more independent and more responsible.
I'm going to be so much better connected.
I'm going to learn
socially.
the value of budgeting and prioritizing
and
my
time
time.
management.
Digital literacy and tech skills. Well, I mean, you
could not
can do
agree.
some of those things through technology.
They're just not smart enough and developed enough to have the
well,
capacity.
they're not using their phone to look up how gravity works.
There's
Yeah.
like
You
1% of the youth population that is using a cell phone as an opportunity to gain independence, responsibility, and to learn time management.
Nobody else is doing Spanish with Paul but me.
It's only it's only you.
me.
Yeah, that is not what that's
No.
not what sweet little Haney's using her phone for.
No. Oh, that's hilarious.
I could not agree with you more, Tom.
I don't even know that we actually have to read through all of these. I mean, there are some pieces here, digital literacy and tech skills. I mean, you can learn something. There's entertainment and distraction.
Yeah.
I just think that
And yes, there's monitoring and parental controls. That's a plus.
Yeah, that's
but
number 5, but that's really not that.
that's not for the kids.
But it is I knew going into purchasing the Apple Watch that I was going to be able to monitor and have parental controls. So I can see why that is a reason to do it. But like that's on my end, not so much the kids'
yeah,
end.
that's exactly right.
And
Totally.
But this 6, entertainment and distraction. I mean, that just sounds like hooey gooey. Like,
Yeah, I don't even want to read that.
yeah, I hear you. But number 7, you're right. The digital literacy and tech skills. That's also kind of, it's kind of a niche thing. I mean, yeah, maybe she'll learn how to like type faster.
Yeah, for sure. She'll learn the keyboard faster than we did in our typing class in
Totally.
high
Yeah,
school.
Exactly.
She'll learn how to copy and paste pictures faster than she would have without. But number 8, this one is absolutely true.
Yeah, I could not agree with this one more.
I agree.
My family does the first Monday of every night, which was last night, of every month. We get together on a Zoom call. My dad and my 4 siblings.
It's so cute that you do that.
and
Yeah,
it is
I love
the
it.
coolest thing. I mean, we're
love
adult
that.
children, so it maybe doesn't fit for this particular conversation. But it would be really cool to like, for example, like a divorced set of parents. If like there was a dad who lived in another town, it would be awesome to be able to like get on a Zoom call with my 2 children who have cell phones. Like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the funny things that my kids send me in our group chat is fantastic.
Yeah.
Betty is
it
already
is.
learning how to You're totally right, and I love seeing her funny little memes that she searches up, because it's like
that's cute.
I'm getting to see that my kid has like this hilarious sense of humor.
That's really cute.
It is genuinely making Maureen and I laugh our butts off, because we'll tell her to do something and she'll send this hilarious meme that is like perfectly appropriate. It's a perfectly appropriate
That's
response.
really cute.
That is
humor.
really cute.
Yeah, that's so cute.
I think sometimes my kids wish they could delete the family communication, because it often includes their to-do list. Y'all need to get your shit. No. And they're like, oh, here she goes with the family text.
All the way in Africa, she's preparing us to come home. They may decide to stay.
Yeah, there's a reason Anna Prin wanted to stay in
Are
Africa
they all
for 6
there?
weeks.
Or
No.
all three of them?
Nope.
Just Anna Prin?
George did not want to go. Carter went for 10 days.
Oh, he did?
And he's
what do you think?
back. Well, we're going to dinner tonight, just me and him, to do a
I can't wait to
dump
hear about it.
Yesterday was George's birthday,
Yeah.
so we had to like concentrate on George.
Yeah.
And he got back late Saturday night, slept most Sunday. Yesterday was George's birthday, so today is the first day that I'm like, he and I are going to go have an Italian dinner and
Good.
hear all about it. But they have 10 sisters and one brother in Africa that they hadn't seen in 14 years.
Oh,
and
my
their
gosh,
and their
that
birth
gives me
parents.
chill bumps. Oh, that is so sweet.
I'll have to send y'all a couple of
please
videos.
Send some.
The
The videos made me cry.
Yeah. Are you
the
going to
reunion.
Barsati's? Where are you going?
We're going to Vino, Carbone.
I tell you what, last night I took Blair and her kids to celebrate Blair's birthday, and we went to Barsati's, and I had their vodka tortellini. Oh,
That's
have
what
you had that there?
That's
Yeah,
what
I had it last week. That's becoming my favorite restaurant.
Oh my gosh!
good to know.
It was unbelievable.
well, that's the dish that Carter loves at Carbone.
Yeah.
Is the vodka blah blah blah.
whatever pasta.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And the vodka. I mean, it's his favorite pasta.
It's
Are
so
you talking
good.
about Carbone's before it was Bersati's, or are you talking
No.
about the one over there on Oaklawn?
I'm talking about
like the
in
design,
the design
district. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's where we're headed.
No, Julian's that vodka
Yeah.
that vodka dish is unbelievable.
It's
the tortellini.
unbelievable. It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
Good to know. I
Yeah.
have not had that.
I'm going to try to make. I looked up a recipe for that today.
We did sort of skip over we sort of laughed at the digital literacy and tech skills, which was number 7 on this list. I do have to say, the games and like apps for like learning, those really can be important. And I have an example
agree.
of that. This weekend we were at the lake. My daughter had been learning the capitals of states based on like this flashcard app that she was doing all on her own. And she quizzed the parents. There were 4 of us. She quizzed us on capitals, and she said, "What's the capital of New Mexico?" And all 4 of
Santa Fe.
the adults said Albuquerque.
Santa Fe.
And she said, "Nope, Santa Fe." And Mr. Brinkman was like, "No, it's Albuquerque." And she goes, "I'll bet you $5." And so we looked it up on the internet, and she was right.
Yeah.
Did they
It
pay
was
up?
pretty funny. And I'm
Did you
like,
get her
I'm
$5
like, how did you know
Venmo?
that? She's like, "I just learned it on my iPad." And I'm like, this is insane.
That's
See,
cool.
there is.
She-
it's
yeah.
not all bad.
It isn't
It's
all
not
bad.
all
That
Called
is true.
moderation.
Yeah, but that's the hardest part about teenagers is you and I, we want to moderate.
Yeah, but they can learn to moderate
Yeah.
some.
One of the things that was it last week when we talked about like how important it is how we model as parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how often we're looking at our cell phones, how attached we are. We're giving them permission. We're teaching them
Sure.
how to be the relationship that they should have with their phone.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an important one.
Yep.
All right. Well, Tom, thanks so much for thinking of this.
Yeah, this was
course.
great, Tom.
Yeah, really good.
I hope you guys that are listening got something really positive out of it.
And we wish you the best of luck because this is not for the faint of
It is
heart.
not.
And I'm
Watch
just
Survivor.
So glad I'm past it. Oh,
I
this stuff
know.
gives me
Me
heart
too.
palpitations. Have a great week, y'all.
Thanks for listening.